Nicolas Jackson, it has truly been a pleasure, my friend. Yes, lad, I hope every single one of you are doing brilliantly today. I hope you're all doing well. Today we have another update video. A lot of news has happened in the last 24 hours since I made the last video regarding Levi Colwill's injury. We've had an update on that, and we've also had some further updates on some other players. I want to thank you guys for the support on yesterday's video. I actually done surprisingly well, considering I've been inactive for a very, very long time, so I appreciate all the support. But nevertheless, let's get on with the Chelsea news. We're going to start off with the bad news, the very bad news regarding Levi Colwill. Yesterday we had the update from Chelsea Football Club themselves, and here's what the statement had to say. So, Chelsea broke, the defender Levi Colwill has today undergone successful surgery to an anterior cruciate ligament injury. The 22-year-old had reported back to Cobham for pre-season at the start of this week before unfortunately sustaining the injury in training. Medical assessments confirmed surgery would be the required course of action. Levi will now begin his recovery and be supported by the club's medical department at Cobham during his rehabilitation phase. And there it is, boys. Chelsea have confirmed that Levi Colwill has confirmed his ACL, which is just not the news that us Chelsea fans wanted to hear, because he was really coming to his own. The form he was on, especially after the Club World Cup as well. We thought he was going to pick up and really make a mark in the Chelsea team, because even towards the end of last season in the Premier League, like the goal against Nottingham Forest, he was really starting to perform. And as I say, someone who was critical of him, I really like to see that, but he is going to be out for a very long period of time now. It is an ACL injury. We know how them injuries go. So it's a shame. Now, as I said, the question is, are Chelsea going to look to get another centre-back? If I'm honest, I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to have an emergency situation, because we do have centre-back cover, whether or not it's quality cover, but we do have Badiashile. There are still question marks whether or not he's good enough in a Chelsea shirt. And obviously we do have Tosin, Chalobah, and we also have Joel Hayter, who can occupy the left centre-back position when he's not playing left centre-back, when he's not playing left-back, should I say. So it is going to be interesting to see how Chelsea address this situation. But Levi Colwill, I do wish you a speedy recovery. It is unfortunate, because I feel like this season is going to be a big season to Chelsea, and I'm sure you would have loved to have been a part of that. But now we move to one of the main talking points over the past couple of weeks in Chelsea's transfer business, as well as the likes of Javi Simmons and Joel Hayter, who did eventually sign, and that is Mr. Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United. A player that's raised so many eyebrows for a lot of Chelsea fans, including myself initially at the start. But I've said what I've had to say. If you guys haven't checked my TikTok already, Alejandro Garnacho, is he the finished article? No way, shape or form. And is there the chance that he doesn't work out? Yes, but there is also the chance that he absolutely bangs. And I think you do have to factor in the fact that Manchester United, look how many players have left and have absolutely succeeded. McTominay, for instance. Look how many Man United fans have slated him, calling him a rubbish midfielder. He's gone to Napoli, won the league, and he's been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Think Memphis Depay, think Di Maria, all these players that leave Manchester United and succeed. So there is always that to factor in. I'm not saying Alejandro Garnacho is going to definitely succeed. It's just a bit of like a. I think the issue is it's an uncertain signing. I think that's what a lot of Chelsea fans are concerned about, and that's what I was definitely concerned about, because I watched him at Manchester United, and I'm still to this day not sure what his speciality is. What's the thing that stands him out from any other winger in the league? It's not his pace. It's not necessarily his skill. His finishing's okay, but we're still yet to find that unique selling point, I like to refer to it as. But Garnacho, he does look like he is going to be coming to Chelsea, and also another concern for Chelsea fans is the attitude problem. You know the issues with his brother, but I honestly wouldn't worry too much about that. We know that he's been having issues at Manchester United behind the scenes, so that could just be a thing. If he's happy at Chelsea, then I think we're less likely going to see any issues like that. But if we get into the Fabrizio Romano update, we have the update saying that he understands Alejandro Garnacho has agreed every detail of personal terms with Chelsea. Deal done on player side. He only wants Chelsea, as revealed here since July. Talks with Man United about fee will follow soon. CFC pursue both Garnacho and Javi Simmons as revealed. So there it is. Mr. Garnacho does look like he will be coming to Chelsea. Another attacker coming in through the door, along with the likes of Javi Simmons. I think that's another concern for Chelsea fans. People saying, why are we prioritising Garnacho over Javi Simmons, considering we had the personal terms agreed not a while ago? And I hear that. I'm still a bit baffled as to why this Javi Simmons deal has taken so long. They keep putting out that obviously they want to make player sales, but I like to think at this point we've sold enough players. Another player that looks like we're going to be selling, which I'll get onto in the later part of this video. But Garnacho is going to be coming to Chelsea. The personal terms have been agreed. And listen, Chelsea Football Club, we have the leverage, because United want to get rid of Garnacho. Garnacho only wants Chelsea, so they can't sit around and wait for other clubs. We've shown that we have other options. So they can't charge anything ridiculous. I heard a report saying they want around £50 million. I don't think they're going to get that. I think we can get this down to between 20 and 30 mil, if I'm honest. My ideal option for Garnacho would have been a loan with an option to buy, similar to what we did with Sancho. And then obviously, if we don't, obviously the difference is with Sancho, it was an obligation to buy, but then we ended up paying the compensation to send him back. Because obviously we didn't want to pay the wages, and I completely understand that. But with Garnacho, I think if we'd got him on a loan with an option to buy, see how he is for the year, and then obviously if he bangs, then we can buy him. If not, we could just send him back. It's a win-win for us. And as I say, United don't really have that much leverage, and they can negotiate any part of the deal. But with Garnacho to Chelsea, he will be becoming a Chelsea player. It's been made obvious at this point, so I'd look out for that one. But anyway, let's get into Nicolas Jackson. It does look like it is well and truly over for Nicolas Jackson at Chelsea after 2 years at the club. And listen, I'll be honest. I've said what I've had to say about Nicolas Jackson. I wouldn't have minded him staying. Honestly, I don't think he's a bad player at all. To have, I think, 24 goals in 2 Premier League seasons, you can't be a bad player. And especially considering many rival fans, even some Chelsea fans, label the season under Mauricio Pochettino a dysfunctioning Chelsea side and not a very good Chelsea team. To get 14 goals in your first Premier League season, that's no joke. And yes, I know there are concerns about his finishing and, as of late, his attitude, getting the 2 red cards toward the end of the season. One in the Club World Cup and one against Newcastle in the Premier League. So I understand there are the concerns, but I think he would have been a decent player to have in the squad. We do need the striker rotation, having to be playing in 4 competitions next season. One of them being the Champions League, and obviously we want to go far in that. We want to try and win it. We don't just compete in these competitions, we actually want to win them, unlike another London club. But so I think he would have been a good player to have, but nevertheless, he does look like he is going to be leaving, and here is the report. First report from Fabrizio's YouTube video. He goes on to say, I can tell you here today, Jackson will leave Chelsea this summer. It's been decided by both the player and the club. It's over. We also have another report where he goes on to talk about the clubs that are interested. He says there is strong interest from Newcastle. He's one of the options. There's also interest from Tottenham if Richarlison does go. Clubs from Italy and Germany, including Bayern Munich, have called. The Premier League stay looks most likely. If I'm going to tell you what I think is his most likely destination, I think it will be Newcastle. I think now that they've missed out on Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United, we did get the here we go for that yesterday, and they did miss out on João Pedro early on in the window to a certain club. But yeah, Nicolas Jackson, I don't see him going to Tottenham. I think Thomas Frank is going to likely keep Richarlison, and I doubt Tottenham would want to give 50 to 60 million to one of their rivals anyway. They're not like Arsenal in that sense. So yeah, I think Nicolas Jackson will be going to Newcastle. I doubt he'll be going to Bayern Munich, considering they still got Harry Kane banging in goals. It said there's a club in Italy mentioned as well. We did know that the AC Milan was interested not long ago. I think that interest kind of died off. I don't think he was very interested in going to Italy. I think Nicolas Jackson does also want to stay in the Premier League. I think if Nicolas Jackson's really true, I think he wanted to stay at Chelsea. He wanted it to work out. But I think he's gone lower down the pecking order now that we've signed both Liam Delap and João Pedro. So yeah, I think there's no way really back for him at Chelsea. Now the real question is, right, in regards to Nicolas Jackson, is how much are we going to get for him? Because we do know that Chelsea quoted around 80 to 100 million beforehand. And I just don't think that we're going to get anything close to that. I just don't think Nicolas Jackson is an £80 million player. I think I think we can get around £60 million for him, maybe between 50 and £60 million for him. Because as I say, like, his goal record isn't horrendous in the Premier League, and he's got a fair few assists as well. And he's still a young striker, so I think we can get a decent amount for him. He's not English, so that doesn't boost him up that much. But as I say, like, people, if you've watched him as well, you know that he has inconsistencies in his finishing and his overall play. So by the eye test, you could maybe sit there and say he's not an £80 million player. But around the 50 to 60 million mark, I reckon Chelsea can get around for him. And we're still making profit. I think we spent around £35 million for him. So we're still making profit. Once again, the kings of sales, Chelsea Football Club, acting out again. With all that being said, let me know what you think in the comments in regards to obviously the Levi Colwill injury, the Garnacho news and the Nicolas Jackson news. We have got Bayer Leverkusen later on today. I will be doing a video on my TikTok reviewing that because I will be out at that time. So I won't be able to make a YouTube video. But thank you guys for watching the video. I hope all of you enjoy your day.